know, when the times are tough, the need to take tough decisions becomes a sine qua non, as they say, in a peculiar environment like ours. President Bola Tinubu has read the Riot Act to service chiefs and heads of other security agencies, saying they can't be working at cross purposes under his administration. He has urged them to redouble efforts in dealing with the menace of terrorism, insurgency, banditry, oil theft, sea piracy, and other vices that have weighed us down. It is said that when you talk tough, you must carry a big stick. Let's share this story of the meeting by our man at the State House, please. Femi Akonde is waiting.
Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces meets his service chiefs for the first time after the presidential inauguration. President Bola Tinubu has said security will be the top priority of his administration, and he will reform both the security doctrine and its architecture. This meeting with security chiefs that lasted for about 2 hours is matching words with action.
The president has made it very, very clear that he is determined to build on whatever gains have been made and to reverse misfortunes and turn the tide in our favor. As far as he is concerned, this country should not be on its knees struggling while other countries are walking.
The National Security Advisor says President Tinubu admits he does not have the luxury of time as insecurity continues to ravage some parts of the country, and he has mandated security agencies to come up with a blueprint to reform Nigeria's security architecture.
There must be a clearinghouse. All agencies must work to achieve one single purpose. Working at cross purposes and colliding with each other is not something that he will condone. He's going to embark on a lot of reforms in terms of our security architecture. He's going to take a closer look at our misfortunes in the maritime domain, focusing particularly on the issues of oil theft. That he is not going to tolerate. Wherever the problem is coming from, it must be crushed as soon as possible.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, also disclosed that new directives have been issued on ways to guarantee the security of lives and property. He says his team is inspired and re-energized to execute the orders of President Bola Tinubu.
The security disposition across the country to be. And so we have left Mr. President fired with that mandate and to realign our interventions to fit the expectations, not just of Nigerians, of course, with the mandate that Mr. President has given to us.
President Bola Tinubu has inherited a security situation that has grown from bad to worse, despite the huge government spending on defense. It most times seems as if the emerging security threats overwhelms Nigeria's armed forces and the police. As the new administration sets to work, its performance would likely be judged based on the prevailing security situation in the country. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Thank you, Femi. Jide, when you talk tough, as I said, you carry a big stick.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and there is that big stick in your hand, so you should be able to use it. If you use it liberally, people will
conform.
Yeah. So, but most of the time, like the former president never believed in firing people. It's like he didn't even give people any KPI. Mm-hmm. So you see aides of his who are clearly fumbling at their desk, incapable of bringing real change to our situation, and we just leave them alone. Left service chiefs for too long. But today, Those service chiefs are gone. We've seen in the Northeast tremendous progress. There is no such thing as a Nigerian who cannot be replaced. In this country, there's no such person who can say, okay, without me,
I'm indispensable.
in this country. No. There's no such person. Nigeria is so blessed with manpower that even the whole world knows that when Nigeria begins to get it right, the world will take notice. They will know.
Sure.
And what we need is focused leadership.
Yeah.
Except Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu changes. So the Tinubu that I know will give you a job to do, and he expects you to do a good job. That is what will
Yeah,
keep
as they say in soccer,
is what will keep you on the job.
You kick and follow.
That is what will keep you on the job. It's not a situation like, oh, I like this person, so he has to stay there. Talk to anyone who was in his cabinet in Lagos. Robust discussions at ESCO meetings. And it's not a situation like, oh...
he yields to superior arguments.
Of course, there were people who always argue with him, even amongst them. They were never afraid. There were some of them who were never afraid to argue with him. People like Tunji Bello, people like Dele Alake, they were never afraid to argue with him. Your Excellency, you are wrong, sir. He knows that they want him to succeed. So he will not take it
as a slight.
yes, that, okay, this person is confronting me. No. They all want the best for you. They want you to succeed. When you succeed, they succeed. And there are still a good number of those guys around to help him recreate the success that we saw in Lagos. So we can't have service chiefs working against one another. We had it in the past. Service chiefs who did not see eye to eye. One credit I must give to the current set of service chiefs is that they were working together. They've been working together. Under the leadership of Irabo, the CDS, they've been working together. I've seen clear signs of them working together. And even the soldiers know that their bosses are working together. One clear evidence of that was a party that was held in December. It wasn't like, okay, I'm service chief, let me do this party for my own people alone. They came together just so that the troops will see clear signs that, look, we are singing from the same hymnal. It's not a question of, we are not, look, I don't want. Why should you be envious of one another? Yeah. You've not defeated terror. We are fighting one another. Something must be wrong with you.
Oh, yeah.
You have to defeat the enemy first. So now, he's told them, I will not tolerate this.
Yeah.
You saw the way I was here. We were discussing the EFCC DSS matter.
Yeah.
I said I expect Tinubu to step in immediately and put an end to the nonsense that was going on. We were stepping out of this when they told me that Mr. President has said that the DSS should leave that place immediately. That was what I expected.
That's how the captain behaves.
Not that they will be quarreling, the people that will be quarreling for a long time, embarrassing everybody, and you will not do anything. No. They know now that this someone who will not tolerate this, and he has expanded their work. You will keep your jobs for as long as you can deliver on the mandate
that's it.
Given. That is what will keep you on your job.
Tony, let's look at the mandate given to them. Deal with terrorism, insurgency, banditry, and I dare add kidnapping, oil theft, and sea piracy. These are cankerworms.
It's cankerworm doable. When you have the political will, when you have a leader who understands that we need to achieve this to make progress. And he told them he doesn't have the luxury of time. When I heard that word alone, I'm so happy about it. That sentence, I'm so happy. Like, I'm not here for excuses. I'm not here for excuses because we know just weeks back, now, months back, how it used to be. It becomes a routine. The security heads go to the weekly meetings with the president. We don't hear anything. And we continue. We said it many times. And it continues like that. But it's a new day. He told them, I don't have the luxury of time. You go develop a blueprint. We need to have an idea of what you're doing. And there must be timelines. There must be set objectives. That is how a leader should marshal our plans. So they don't know, they will know that it's not like yesterday. Today is today.
A new sheriff
is in town, So that it gives me joy. It gave me joy when I see things. This is what I pray for.
Can we get around oil thieves?
We can. Why can't we?
Okay.
We have the resources. See, we have the
vexo. Because I know.
I know you know. See, I know. See, we have the resources. We have the manpower to do it. What we lack is the political will. But once you have a leader who has that political will and is seriously interested,
and people are duly punished, Tony.
There must be punishment, just as they told them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when they left, they noticed it's a new day, really. Yeah. Because it's not the usual. Let me see what you're doing. And then everybody goes, nobody knows. He's saying this is, and it's, I'm just surprised. I see he's still keeping them. That's the one I like. Is he keeping them? I was thinking, I know. You know what? You know what? I salute him for that. I salute him for still saying, okay, develop a blueprint. Let me allow you, because me, I will not. But I salute him because and I know he has something. There's something he was working on. So let them come with that blueprint. Then we'll listen to that.
Of course, Mr. President, President Tinubu said he knew what was on the plate.
He's been there. You see, he's been around. He's been around for a long time. So there's nothing you're going to tell him now that he doesn't know. He's been around the political circle for a long time. He has all this information within his fingertips. So he has this information. So he knows. You don't need to go and tell him what to do.
There are some things you do not know that he sees. On the day that Ajia Chagaya had her birthday, assisted birthday some years back, I attended the birthday ceremony. As I saw Asiwaju Tinubu and I walked towards him to greet him, he held my hand. He said, I hear that you've been entering Air Force choppers these days. You know where it was the chief of air staff who received our bosses here. He received Andrew and others, and he told the former chief of Mr. Sadiq, he said, do you know why I like Jide? Jide goes to those dangerous places. Sometimes he even joins us in looking for these bad people. So I didn't know that Asiwaju was even watching.
So said, that's a president who is particular about finding.
He said you've been joining the military in their choppers. I was taken aback because I didn't know that he was even aware. Yeah. So let no one imagine that he doesn't know what is going on. Yeah. He already knows. And he will choose his time. He will work with them for some time. And when he's convinced that it's time for them to go, he will take that decision. He's not going to take his decision in a hurry. Yeah. I mentioned what happened before he got grip of the refuse situation in Lagos. It took months. There was no name they didn't call him. I remember this lawyer, Jose Kome, even called him an absentee governor on account of refuse dotting the Lagos landscape. But by the time he found the solution, this private sector participation in refuse evacuation, that was the game changer. And in Lagos, you will no longer find those high-rise refuse dumps anymore. What you now had were just litters here and there. In front of my former office, when I was in the news magazine, our office is where you now have Sweet Sensation. There used to be one huge refuse that tortured us in the newsroom, opposite, just across the road.
Tortured, stench and all
that one too disappeared.
Okay.
So sometimes we need to be patient with our leaders because sustainable development also takes time to germinate. You may not see the impact, you may not feel the impact immediately, but if it's a good method that you are deploying, the result will show ultimately. And I'm confident that...
All right. So